Welcome back to the show. This is Getting Good. Stablecoin legislation passing on Monday. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. My favorite number, 13. 13 days left until XRP Las Vegas, the largest XRP conference in the world, May 30th, May 31st. You better come and you better get your ticket. VIP could run out. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Bree Teresi. I'm a model and a crypto enthusiast. The excitement is building. XRP Las Vegas 2025 is almost here. Learn more about the evolution of finance and Web3 from top industry leaders. I have my ticket. Do you have yours?
Now's the time to get your ticket at xrplasvegas.com and check out the conference agenda. Also, builders and developers will have a shot at $25,000 in prize money with the best Web3 project ideas in a Shark Tank-like pitch.
Let's go, XRP community. Lock in.
There you have it. Get your tickets. I'm telling you, this thing is massive. Over 1,000 people attending this event. And I'm telling you, we're getting close to where we got to cap it. So if you want to get a ticket, please get your ticket, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, with all the hacks, all the threats of hacks and the attempts at kidnapping in the last month and a half, open your free account at Caleb & Brown and get the best night's sleep you've ever had in your life. Why do I say that? Free institutional grade custody for retail folks like you and I. There's no hidden fees. There's no spreads. They have multiple layers of security on their platform, and they have human customer service, whether you want to speak to a broker or you're having a technical issue. I'm telling you, no more worrying if you've ever been hacked. It's over. All you got to do is go open your free account on Caleb & Brown, and you'll find out for yourself. Let's get into this. Today, Ripple partners with WEIA and Mercy Corps to launch XRP Ledger Pilot, helping Colombian farmers access credit through blockchain-powered agriculture traceability. Ripple's original post here is that in this partnership, Pilot leverages the XRP Ledger to test how blockchain traceability could boost incomes for 300 smallholder farmers in Colombia, where most operate informally and lack credit histories and transactional ledgers needed to secure loans to expand their operations. So look, this is the kind of proliferation into the traditional markets that I want to see. And I know that this is just the beginning. So things are heating up, and boy, are they ever. We're going to get to legislation and stablecoin legislation in just 1 second. In the wake of regulatory changes, Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal had this to say. Take a listen. I think it's spot on.
Where we're going from here is I am confident that in a year from now, at Consensus 2026 maybe, the lawyers, the regulators, the policymakers, we're going to be hanging out in the back. Maybe you guys will still let us in for coffee or a chat in the hallway, but this discussion about the rules and frameworks and regulation will still be ongoing, but it won't be the centerpiece of the industry that it unfortunately has been forced to be over the last several years. That's my dream, and actually that's where I think we're headed over time, so that we can focus on, why so many of us got into crypto in the first place, Nick, which is to build great products, build great services to solve real problems. And
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And to move past the discussion of legislation and regulation, there's no question about it. Now, let's keep moving here. We got a lot to look at. FTX Recovery Trust will distribute over $5 billion to creditors. Whew. I'm sorry. In case you were wondering and thought that I edited the channel, no, I just had a yawn sneak up on me, and that's the end of that. It's staying in the recording. So, nonetheless, the distribution of $5 billion to creditors in its second round of payouts on May 30th, 2025, the first day of XRP Las Vegas. I'm happy that some of these creditors are getting their money back, but we know that there's been so many wiped out and harmed, and Gary Gensler could have stopped this. He met with Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX multiple times, and he didn't do a thing to stop them. Instead, he let the dumpster fire that is FTX continue until everyone was harmed, and then used that as political fodder as to why crypto is no good. He is a really despicable human being. Is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? Wow, I thought this issue was already over. I think this clip, unknowingly from Kevin O'Leary, reveals what we've talked about for years here, that Bitcoin has had an unspoken regulatory pass for many, many years. And meanwhile, Ripple and XRP, the 4-year legal gauntlet ride.
The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined and regulated, Katie bar the doors, $1 trillion will come and index that asset.
There you have it. There you have it. It's the legislation that is the catalyst here. And that's what I've been saying for a long time. I go back even to last year. I had an interview with Blockchain Backer. And I told him, I said, the catalyst isn't the court case, it's legislation. The United States of America is the catalyst for crypto to explode. Do we not know that yet? It's the absolute truth, and it's coming, and it may be coming on Monday. You'll see in a second here. Well, we see this. Dave Portnoy sat on stage, and I said, come on, sit on stage at XRP Las Vegas, because we know Dave Portnoy likes XRP, and in fact, here's a clear recording of him saying it.
I remember I was trying to buy an apartment in Miami, and I got outbid by a crypto bro, and I'm just like, that bastard. He just bought. He heard about Bitcoin when it was, I don't know, $8, $7. It's up on 100. I've slaved for 20 years, and he just outbid. So yes, there's 100% of FOMO on everything. I think that's the meme coin. That's general. I mean, I don't know Bitcoin. I don't know if there's as much FOMO now. It's so established, but like that's why I'm in XRP. Like that it's FOMO. It's not like I have some grand belief in it, but it's what, $2, 40 cents or something like that. It's like, what if that's the next Bitcoin? So FOMO, I think, plays a huge part. I remember.
He makes a great point here, but Dave, we know a little more than you do about it, and I think you got something that you're going to be very happy about over time. I absolutely believe that, and I think he's a lot smarter than he puts on at times, too. I think he knows exactly, and he has an open invitation to come join us on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Meanwhile, listen to Cardano's Charles Hoskinson give you the overall state of affairs, are bullish for crypto, and how he believes it'll all unfold over the next 2 to 3 and 6 to 12 months. Take a listen.
So overall, the state of affairs is bullish. It's just we're not quite where we need to be yet. There's probably 2-3 more months of heartburn from macroeconomics like the tariff issues and these types of things before we start seeing that cycle happen. And they usually last about 6 to 12 months. So overall, this.
And there you have it. And that feels right to me. I gotta say, that feels pretty spot on. Now, here is a clip here just talking about being anti-crypto, and this kind of speaks to the narrative I was talking about, the post that I read you guys the other day, that I broke down why I believe the Democrats are going to pass the bill. They are not going to continue to stonewall this because many things would happen. One, there's so much good coming with no tax on crypto, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, right? And eventually 150,000 or less won't even pay taxes, right? And then cutting prescription drug costs, right? All of this stuff. You think you're going to politically grandstand this administration on stablecoin legislation in the Senate and you're going to win at midterms? You're delusional. You're absolutely delusional. And you know what? The Democrats know it because they were a part of passing that bill, the Genius Act, out of the committee in the Senate. And I believe they will be passing it here. But listen to these comments.
Well, I think that main road of getting stablecoin, there's dedication on both sides to it, which we saw in the last Congress as well. So this is just building on the last Congress, adding verbiage to it that makes everybody comfortable, makes everybody willing to come to an actual vote.
I would add.
Absolutely. And then this woman here adds a great point too.
I don't think that any party can really be anti an entire technology. I don't think that a party can be anti-crypto or anti-internet, right, or anti any other technology if they're really taking the future of America seriously.
Nailed it. Nailed it. That's exactly right. What do we know? Stable coins are the Trojan horse for the U.S. dollar dominance. There's the other little reason why the Dems ain't going to fold on this. They're going to have to vote for this. And they're going to have to vote to pass it, right? Stablecoin, listen, stablecoins act as a kind of a Trojan horse for U.S. dollar dominance in a world increasingly looking for alternatives. With stablecoins, the United States doesn't need to force other nations. It says here, instead, cryptocurrency native financial systems end up reinforcing the dollar's reach organically. It's an elegant solution. Embrace stablecoins, regulate them to keep them within the United States framework, and let the free market do the rest. It's exactly right. This is exactly what we've been saying. And if you were at XRP Las Vegas 2024, you would have heard Chris Giancarlo and myself on stage discussing the power of stablecoins, how they act as a bulkhead to soak up bonds so we can come off of the petrodollar agreement. Meanwhile, Senator John Thune moves forward with cloture, filing on the Genius Act, setting up a Monday evening vote, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. The scoop from Paul Barron says his D.C. sources indicate that the Genius Act could be passed in the next week. Clear efforts by Senator Warren and key staff members on the Hill have been made to thwart this legislation. Yes, there will be some changes to this bill, but the core of the stablecoin legislation to refine the banking and finance industry is already here. Crypto levels the playing field for small business, retail investors, and blockchain innovators who will lead the President of the United States plan to place the United States of America in the lead for decades to come. Plan accordingly. Go Paul Barron, who will be on stage at XRP Las Vegas. I tell you what, and then we got this from none other than Mike Novogratz. And we know he's a Democrat, and you know what he says? We're going to pass the bill on Monday, is what he says.
Crypto finally at the brink, right? We're going to get a bill done on Monday, finally at the brink of institutional adoption. Right. And, we have built our company for the institutional adoption. Right. And, we have built our company for this moment. At the brink, right? We're going to get a bill done on Monday. We're going to get a bill done on Monday, finally at the brink of institutional adoption. Right. And, we have built our company for this moment.
I tell you what, this is a moment. And if that happens, then you know that that's going to be one of the most historic days in this country and for the world, and certainly for crypto. And I'll say this too, I liken it to the Telecommunications Act of 1996 that set the dot-com era in motion. That's how big I believe that this can be. And don't forget right here, tech giants Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they may still be able to issue the stablecoins under proposed bipartisan amendment to the Genius Act. I'm telling you, this is really, really getting good. All of these big, magnificent seven, they're going to push a notification to your app, and you're going to have a crypto wallet. Just like that. 3 billion people have crypto wallets as soon as they pass this. You watch. This is where we're going. And don't forget, while all of this is getting sorted out, and just a couple days ago, they wanted every one of us as retail folks to believe this would never happen. And that way it would convince you to dump your position or something of that nature, right? Well, not here. Because while all of this is unfolding and everybody wants to act like it's never going to happen, the Federal Reserve, Bank of New York, and Bank of International Settlements are testing smart contracts to explore tokenized monetary policy. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're on the edge of one of the most historic moments for cryptocurrency, and it is absolutely palpable. I can't wait for Monday to get here, and I don't wish weekends away. not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you on the next one.